Now I'm going to talk about Ray Bradbury. He was an American science fiction writer of the 20th and the 21st centuries. His full name was Raymond Douglas Bradbury. He was born on August the 22nd, 1920 in Waukegan, Illinois, USA. The boy had an ordinary family. His father was a lineman for telephone and power utilities. For a time during the 1920s and early 1930s, the Bradburys moved back and forth between Waukegan and Tucson, Arizona. But in 1934, they settled in Los Angeles. There, Ray went to the Los Angeles High School. Bradbury was reading and writing from a young age. He was an ardent reader of adventure and fantasy fiction since childhood and spent a lot of time at libraries. His favorite writers included Edgar Allan Poe, Edgar Rice Burroughs, and Jules Verne, among others. Also, as a child, Bradbury loved horror films such as The Phantom of the Opera. Interesting fact that Ray was a great magic enthusiast and said if not a writer, he would have been a magician. But the magic didn't work out, so he started penning down his own stories in 1931 at the age of 11. At the age of 12, Bradbury decided to become a writer. After graduation from high school in 1938, Bradbury couldn't afford to go to college, so he went to the local library instead. To support himself while he wrote, Bradbury sold newspapers. He published his first short story in a fan magazine in 1938. The next year, he published 4 issues of his own fan magazine, Futuria Fantasia. Nearly every article in the magazine was written by Bradbury himself. Bradbury sold his first professional piece, the story Pendulum, in November 1941. His first collection of short stories, Dark Carnival, was published in 1947. The same year, he married Marguerite McClure, whom he met while she was working as a clerk at a bookstore. McClure was the breadwinner in the early days of their marriage, supporting Bradbury as he worked on his writing for little to no pay. The couple had 4 daughters. In 1950, Bradbury published his first major work, The Martian Chronicles. Bradbury's best-known work, Fahrenheit 451, published in 1953, became an instant classic. Also, Ray worked as a consultant for many screenplays and TV scripts. Bradbury wanted to make film adaptations of his work. Bradbury developed his own HBO television series, allowing him to produce adaptations of his short stories. The Ray Bradbury Theater was the name of the television series. It included 65 Bradbury's short stories. The series ran until 1992. Bradbury wrote for several hours every day throughout his entire life, allowing him to publish more than 30 books, close to 600 short stories, and numerous poems, essays, screenplays, and plays. Ray Bradbury's works have received wide fame and many awards. In the final years of his life, Bradbury suffered from ongoing illnesses and health problems. In 1999, he suffered a stroke that caused him to need to use a wheelchair some of the time. He still continued writing and even appearing at science fiction conventions. In 2012, he fell ill again, and he died on June the 5th. Here you can see the words. And now some questions. The first one, where was Ray Bradbury born? He was born in Waukegan, Illinois, USA. At what age did Bradbury decide to become a writer? At the age of 12. Why didn't Bradbury go to college? He hadn't enough money. What TV series did Bradbury develop? The Ray Bradbury Theater. What do you think? What is Ray Bradbury's the most popular work? It's your choice. You can choose any of his works.